Okay, let's get into this video. So it looks like Cardi B could be a potential appearance at Bad Bunny's halftime show. If you look at the betting markets, they're all predicting that Cardi B is going to be the halftime show's special guest. So if you look at this TMZ article, she's listed right now at negative 200 odds. That means that to bet on her, you could risk $200 to place the bet. And if you're right, you would win $100. She's the favorite. The more riskier options that people are betting on is Travis Scott, where you could bet $400 if you think that Travis Scott is going to be the winner, or Jennifer Lopez, where you could bet $500. So the buzz makes sense. According to the TMZ article, Cardi and Bad Bunny already proved they've got rapport with their smash hit, I Like It. And we know the NFL has turned halftime shows into cameo factories in recent years. So this makes sense to me. It makes sense that people are speculating that Cardi B is going to be the guest performer at the halftime show. And it's literally something that I was saying before I even seen this TMZ article. Now, if you've been paying attention to your feed and any of your timeline and feed has anything concerning like the NFL, you know the NFL has been using Cardi B as promo. She has been with Stephon Diggs, of course, who is playing for the Patriots, and he's going to the Super Bowl. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. So it wouldn't even be like an inconvenience for her to get there because she'd already be there. She wouldn't have to break any plans. She's already planning on being at the Super Bowl that night. So it makes sense for her to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. And it's not only that, with Bad Bunny having a heavy Latino fan base, Cardi B has appealed to that kind of like demographic. So you can see it there too. Both of them also are coming off of a major album. So it makes sense. Clearly, I feel like the NFL is kind of like already teasing this idea out in the public, because I was looking at something that the New England Patriots posted today on Twitter. And the question was, who's coming out with Bad Bunny? And they were asking a lot of the players who they think is coming out with Bad Bunny. Now, watch this.
Who is Bad Bunny?
Look at the fact that, look at Stephon Diggs' reaction to that question. To me, that kind of gives it away a little bit, does it not? It gives it away just a little bit. Like, why'd you look away like that? He knows something that we don't know. Some of these players just really just didn't make sense answering the question, but I think most of them answered Cardi B.
Bring out during halftime.
I can't watch it. Bring Beyonce back.
Bring me up. I can
Bring you up.
He gonna bring Rod Wave out.
Cardi B. Did you normally bring somebody out?
Yes.
Like Morgan Wallen?
G-Ma. He bringing out my G-Ma.
Probably like Shakira. Shakira. Grupo Frontera.
We're bringing out Cardi B, Carol G.
Katy Perry's sneaky one, dude.
Did they have a song together?
You could bring out.
I mean, you
Cardi
can make
B.
any song. You can make
You
California
could bring
Girls
her
go.
out because they got a song together. Maybe Drake. Maybe.
To come perform with him?
Yeah.
I don't know. That only?
Now, the people saying Shakira, I'm gonna have to call you racist. No, I'm just playing.
Cardi.
Oh, Benson Boone, he's in town. Shout out Monroe High School. I can see that happening.
So if you see that, it just makes a lot of sense to me. And even Stephon Diggs' reaction to the question, it just gave me like, he knows something that we don't, and he's not about to answer that question. It would have been better if he like threw out a different answer than Cardi B, to be honest, because I feel like that gave it away. Now, Bad Bunny ended up doing an interview about the halftime show where he talked a little bit about his thoughts about doing the halftime show.
If they don't have to learn Spanish, they just it's better if they learn to dance. But I think the world's gonna dance. It's not better dance than the one that can come from the heart. The heartbeat dance. That's the only thing that they need to worry about and have fun and enjoy.
So he was basically saying how it's going to be really fun and people don't need to learn Spanish, they just need to learn how to dance. Now, clearly Bad Bunny is kind of pivoting if you just pay attention, because when he was first booked for the halftime show, or the announcement was first made, he said that people need to learn Spanish for his halftime show performance. And he didn't say it in like a you have to know Spanish kind of way to watch the halftime show. He was just being snarky to the criticism that he was getting about the halftime show. But I guarantee you that the NFL, the production team, the talent team, the entertainment division of the NFL, that all of them have spoken to him about the criticism and making sure that his performance is as least divisive as possible. If you remember early on, there were reports saying that he was going to wear a dress to the halftime show. And those reports were coming from Radar Online. And Radar Online said that multiple members from Bad Bunny's glam team said that he was wearing a dress. According to the Washington Times here, Bad Bunny is planning to wear a dress during his February 8th Super Bowl halftime performance. His style team says the outfit is intended as a political thunderbolt disguised as culture. The anonymous sources, one of whom has reportedly worked closely with the Puerto Rican star, told Radar Online his wardrobe will honor generations of drag, resistance, and cultural rebellion. He loves controversy. He lives to push envelopes, a stylist said. Another said that the Spanish speaking rapper is not playing it safe, adding that the National Football League has no idea what's coming. Zero. Another source told Radar Online, let them complain, the dress is already being sewn. So I personally think that this actually was happening. Usually, when news sources allow someone to speak anonymous and then they go ahead and publish the story, they've already done some vetting of the person. Like, they know that this person has connections to the person that they're talking about, or that they are directly in contact or of relevance to the story that the news organization is about to run with. So for them to go and publish this, I do think that this was something that Bad Bunny was planning on doing. But like I said, I think that the NFL spoke to him, which I'm going to get to later on what makes me think that, and he decided to tone it down a lot. So if you try to go on Radar Online and look for that article, the headline of when they published it will pop up, but if you click on it, it'll redirect to another article. So I think they've went ahead and taken the article down, actually. And the reason why is because TMZ came out a few days ago and clarified that his production team actually said that it wasn't true. So TMZ writes, Bad Bunny won't be attending a dress fitting prior to his Super Bowl halftime show performance in just a few weeks, because we're told he's not wearing a gown despite reports. Here's the deal. A rumor has been circulating online that the DTMF hitmaker planned to wear a dress for his performance in Santa Clara on February 8th, a controversial move which no doubt would have upset people even more than the announcement that he would headline the show did. However, production sources tell TMZ he's not wearing a dress during the show, though they wouldn't say what he is wearing. We're sure the performance will face some criticism on game day, but it won't be because Bad Bunny's wearing a dress. What's crazy is, before I even read this article by TMZ, and it was really me doing the research for this video that led me to come across this article, I had already seen that Bad Bunny, it was being reported that Bad Bunny was going to wear a dress. I'd already seen that. But knowing how close it is to the actual performance, and knowing what I know now about how the NFL is responding to criticism that Bad Bunny is going to be performing, I had a feeling that he was not going to be wearing a dress. I just had a feeling that he wasn't going to be wearing a dress. It would be too controversial. The NFL wants to do inclusion, but they don't want to do disruption. The NFL halftime show has at least 100 million people watching it at a given moment. Families, people with different opinions, people who hate watch, and they don't want to risk their brand, air quotes, by letting someone come out and sort of make the halftime show something that's controversial. So this is the interview that I actually saw that started to lead me to believe that Bad Bunny would not come out with a dress, and that honestly, I think that his performance will be a lot more tame than what people expect. I think people think that he's going to say something about ice, and I'm not sure that he actually will. So this is Roger Goodell, and Roger Goodell is the chief executive officer of the NFL. So he was being pressed on questions about Bad Bunny and the controversy that he was receiving after the pick. The controversy the NFL was receiving after the pick of having Bad Bunny do the headlining show, and this was his response.
Decision to choose Bad Bunny as your Super Bowl halftime performer?
He's one of the leading and most popular entertainers in the world. That's what we try to achieve. It's an important stage for us. It's an important element to the entertainment value. It's carefully thought through. I would say that I'm not sure we've ever selected an artist where we didn't have some blowback or criticism. It's pretty hard to do it when you have literally hundreds of millions of people that are watching. But we're confident it's going to be a great show, and that he understands the platform that he's on, and I think it's going to be exciting and a united.
So basically, he says that, because of the amount of viewers that watch the halftime show, that they've always received criticism about who they pick, and that's going to happen whenever you have so many people watching and you're trying to appeal to a broad audience. But he goes on to, hype Bad Bunny up and say that he's been the biggest, superstar this last year. But then he also goes on to clarify, and he says that Bad Bunny's going to bring the NFL halftime show is about unity, not division, and Bad Bunny knows that. If you don't think that he's had the talk with Bad Bunny, you're mistaken. If you don't think that his team has had the talk with Bad Bunny, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what's in play, what's not in play, you're mistaken. But what do you think? Do you think that he's going to wear a dress? Do you think he's going to shock people and come out in a dress? Do you think that Cardi B is going to be the surprise guest performer, or do you think that he's going to go at it solo, or do you think that it might be somebody else? Now, speaking of the Super Bowl, Boosie took to Twitter to talk about it, and he says that Chris Brown needs to be a performer for the halftime show. Boosie is dramatic. He says, in all caps, do we need to campaign for Chris Brown to perform at a Super Bowl? So many years I've seen so many different artists perform. No Chris Brown, not cool at all. Better yet, disrespectful. You great in our eyes, G. I 100% agree with him. 100% agree with him, and I'm going to tell you why. But Neo actually chimed in on this, and Neo had the same opinion.
Have you been approaching through the Super Bowl?
No.
No. Hove, come on.
I don't think I'd
whoever the interview is, why would you tell Neo that he needs to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show and then be like, Jay-Z, come on, what's up? Neo is not big enough to perform at the halftime show. Like, okay, past 5 years, name 3 songs by Neo. Past 5 years. Like, be for real.
strongly believe that Chris would get the call before me, and to be honest, I would rather see Chris do it. I would rather see Chris.
That would be a dope redemption.
Chris would be fire.
He would.
Win a Super Bowl. He smashed it.
And it's even this interview, like, that would be a dope redemption arc. Like, we're never going to get past this. We're never going to get past this. And I've come to the conclusion that Chris Brown is actually never going to perform at the halftime show, even though I think that his halftime show performance would no doubt be the best halftime show that we've seen in I would say even a decade, to be honest. Cause what we're in 2025, 2026 halftime show, so we're going back to 2016. I don't think that any of the halftime shows since 2016 would compete with what Chris Brown would bring to a halftime show. You're talking about somebody who can sing, who has major music known internationally, definitely widespread across America, is known across America, something that everybody could chime in on and know the songs, and can perform, can dance, can put on a good show. Did you see his last tour that he went on? I mean, Chris Brown has the ability to perform better than most artists that are out now. I would say there are like a very few amount of artists that can actually put on a performance like Chris Brown. So it would be one of the best halftime shows, but it's not going to happen. And it won't happen because of the Rihanna thing. And that's just the reality of it. And I thought that it was just all of the people, like us, that get irritated when we hear somebody bring up Chris Brown's past as a reason why he shouldn't be able to do this or shouldn't be able to do that. And that it was just like elites and sponsors and brand deals and companies that didn't want to touch Chris Brown because of that. But I was online and you would be shocked to see how many people still do not like Chris Brown over that incident. And low key, I think that the companies will be willing to overlook it, except for the fact that Chris Brown, after the Rihanna incident, had multiple incidents afterward that made him untouchable to them. It would be too controversial, I guess. Even though I just have always thought that there was no controversy and everybody kind of moved on past that. I mean, that happened when I was a kid. That happened when I was a child. So it's not going to happen. And the person who could make it happen, or at least have influence for it to happen, is Jay-Z, who's in partnership with the NFL over the halftime show performance picks. And he just renewed his contract through Rock Nation for the next 5 years to be continuing to put in on the picks. But I doubt that he's going to choose Chris Brown. If you remember, Jay-Z and Rihanna were very close. Plus, Jay-Z is a black man, and the reason why he even got included as a person to pick these halftime shows was because of all of the protests that were going on in 2020 and the conversations about more representation that were happening before that. So the NFL decided to pick Jay-Z to put in on, who should perform, who should we have perform to appeal to a broader audience. And he's picked some pretty fire people overall. If you look at the lineup that Jay-Z has had come out or influence in having come out, he's picked and influenced some pretty powerful people. And some pretty dope people. And if you look at who was performing in the NFL halftime show before Jay-Z was the pick, it was less cultural. So he's been doing a good job. But do you think as a black man in that position, he would want to be vouching for somebody that is quote unquote? Probably not. So I don't think that the Chris Brown performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, I think it's going to be the gift that we will never get. it'll be the gift that we will never get, because Chris Brown is now in his late 30s. He's still musically strong, but how much longer is that going to last? Jay-Z's only up there for 5 more years. Not happening while Jay-Z's up there. You're talking about Chris Brown being 40 years old before there's even a shot at it happening. So no, we won't ever get Chris Brown performing at the halftime show. It's just not going to happen. But let me know what you think about the video. Do you think that Chris Brown should be performing at the halftime show, or are you one of the people who think that his past is too much and that you don't think that he should be performing at the halftime show?